Attorney Michael Whitty.
Okay, thanks, Chantel, and thanks, Tony. Uh, and my line of business is as an estate planning attorney, but I focus on closely held business owners in particular. Although I have all kinds of different estate planning clients, what I like to do for them is, get them from an outdated plan or no plan at all to a really solid plan that's up to date and addresses all of their concerns. And I do this using a multidisciplinary approach because I'm a CFP as well as an attorney licensed in Texas, Michigan, Illinois, and now Florida. And so I get there by starting off with just listening a lot, asking a lot of open-ended questions, trying to draw out what their real priorities and concerns are. And then I put together a plan tailored for them that addresses those concerns. And we ultimately get to the outcome of, in terms of the emotional effect of it, it releases and relieves a whole lot of their stress and anxiety because they know that a lot of the things they may have been worried about, perhaps they hadn't even expressed them before talking to me, they now have a plan in place that addresses those concerns.
Can you tell us what you do with businesses in particular and how you help businesses in the family office area?
Yes, in the business owner space, which overlaps a lot with the family office space, I work with clients to prepare succession plans if they do intend to plan to turn over their business to family members, or if they want to have another exit strategy. I'm familiar with doing those as well. And we can also put in place shareholder agreements and buy-sell agreements that will, facilitate transfers and exits that are anticipated or, can be predicted. And I'm able to work with clients who want to do another exit strategy other than leaving their business to family members, if that's what they want to do. But at first, I start with asking general questions that I would ask of pretty much anyone about what they want to do with their wealth, how they would like to transfer it safely and preserve it, and put together the answers to the questions every good estate plan needs to answer, which are who gets what, how and when do they get it, and who's in charge. And on the who gets what, if it's a family business owner or a family office, we have to deal with how we transition the ownership of that, in addition to other forms of wealth that they do have.
Let me ask you, what about businesses that want to scale? Are you able to help businesses scale? Like, do you prepare like a private placement offer memorandum for businesses that want to scale themselves in the family office environment?
Well, my firm can do that. That's not something I do myself individually, but we can do that as part of the business planning side as opposed to the estate planning side. And we have several attorneys in my corporate strategy group that would be able to work on scaling things up or issuing new equity or selling the company, perhaps selling a portion of the company to maybe a private equity firm or a strategic buyer like a competitor.
What about in the cases where someone goes through a divorce and is a business owner? Give us some feedback on that type of issue.
Did you ask about a business owner going through a divorce?
Yes.
All right, well, the key there is that unless the couple is going to continue in business together as partners, which is a very rare circumstance that people want to do that in the case of a divorce, then the essential thing there is to start with a very solid valuation of the company and then find a way to divide up the value of that in a way that the business retains continuity and effective leadership and ownership, even though perhaps part of the value needs to be transferred to the non-participating spouse. But I have worked on those kinds of engagements.
What about the issue where there are children involved, and let's say one child has the ability to take over the company and the other kids do not? Do you work in issues? Can you tell us something about that?
Yes, we have to deal with that all the time. If there are one or more children who are able to take over the business and take on leadership and ownership roles, a lot of times not all of them can. It's pretty rare that all of the children want to and are able to continue the family business operations. So we have to plan for what we want to do for the other children so that we provide for them equitably, if not equally, and at the same time preserve that continuity of ownership and leadership in the company so that the company doesn't run into conflicts or other kinds of governance problems because of the transition if the succession of the ownership and the leadership isn't handled properly.
Well, this